In last week's cast, we revisited the red no blanks Jarkai build utilizing Cara Dune's blaster. This forces us into a red-blue combo, meaning that we generally only have one character target for Jarkai. As such, in the weapons discussion, in many cases, redeploy was basically irrelevant. But what if it wasn't? What if we could bring red and blue and still provide two potential targets for Jarkai? Well, with ARH's dual-color Aayla Secura, we can. A huge shout out to our channel members for supporting what we do here. If you want to get involved with the channel and the Dice Commando community, please consider joining as a channel member. Remember, these videos are only possible with your support. You can show that support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving us a comment and sharing your feedback. Community first, and go Commando. IRL Star Wars Destiny comes to Toronto. On Saturday, January 21st, 2023, Matthew Padula, aka Liquid Snake, is hosting a renewed Prime event at 401 Games, Toys, and Sports Card. The event starts at 1200 local time. For more information, see their Facebook event, which is linked in the description of this video. If you're in the Toronto area or want to travel, December 3rd is your day to roll some dice. Hey there, Star Wars Destiny folks. Welcome back to Dice Commando and the Commando cast. Thanks for tuning in for yet another Destiny Friday. I hope your week has been going well. Now, I do want to remind everybody we've got the big tournament up in Toronto this weekend. Long time coming. Very, very exciting, and good luck to everyone up there, and as well, Liquid Snake, Matthew Padula, thank you for putting in the groundwork to make this happen, get IRL Destiny back to Toronto. So thank you, and make sure if you're anywhere close and you want to support Destiny, do what you can to get out there and support that. All right, yes, so today I want to talk Aayla Secura specifically for the red no blanks Jarkai build. Now, we obviously went through that build kind of in detail, we rehashed it in detail, I should say, in last week's cast. Now, when we look at this build, there's a couple problem statements with it overall as a general concept, being that, as we kind of talked about, you only really have one target for Jarkai because you're running a red-blue and you're basically building Megatron, for lack of a better term, right? And by that, I mean putting all of your stuff on one character, making a super character. You're really running a two-wide because you need to have blue and red, and you have to have your big blue. Great, you have to have a blue character to put Jarkai on because it's a blue ability only. And you have to make sure that they can stay alive and you can ramp and all that, right? So obviously only having one target does a couple of things to you. First, it means that they know who to go for, right? Once they know what you're doing, they know who to go for, right? They just blast down your blue character if they can. But that's who they go for. And then when you're done, you're kind of in trouble. Maybe some of your weapons will redeploy because, as we talked about, because it's your big, and when they go down, you're not always necessarily running redeploy weapons. So today I'm basically saying, well, with Aayla, maybe we can. Right, so Aayla is 14-17. She's 2 melee, 2 indirect, the 3 reroll, which is actually not too bad if you think about what we're trying to do here. Resource and a blank. 13 health, which makes her pretty good for your big. Jedi leader Twi'lek, and then after setup, this character gains the color blue. Right, so yes, she is your red character, but she in of herself can be your Jarkai target. Right, so now let's go ahead and just theory here. We'll just theory craft with this right now. I'm throwing up Leia Adept Student, right? This is RDM Leia. Okay, now she is 13-16 at this point, right? She's been balanced of force by 1. So what we're looking at here is a 3-die. And again, I'm just throwing up a blue character, right, to really have this theory crafting type discussion. Okay, what would be great is if you could actually run blue Aayla with Aayla. That would be pretty cool, but you can't. Okay, so in this case, right, let's look at what we could do, right? I mean, effectively, we have a 2 Jarkai target, right? Because for those of us who've played Jarkai decks before, one thing that is weird about it is if you get, because you can only have one form on a character, you can't, double dip on Jarkai, and then you just don't have anywhere to put it. It becomes a reroll card. Once the other one's out, of course, the first one's out, you don't have the other one. Well, you can just throw it on your other character in this case, right? So let's say in this case, we decide to go single die Leia, elite Aayla. Single die, I'm going to screw that up multiple times through this cast because they're similar, right? But let's say we go single Leia, elite Aayla. Okay, let's just say that's what we're doing. I actually think it probably needs to be the other way around. But either way. Okay, so you start loading up Aayla. In this case, because we're going to be able to get dual mileage out of Jarkai, we are playing primarily all redeploys. And another great thing about Aayla being red is that the Gray Baby Blaster actually redeploys on her, right? And that's something we talked about in depth last week with the weapons was, the value of the ones in Jar-Kai and just being able to, it doesn't need to be all ones, but ones with 2 blanks that become 2 melee with Kara's is incredible. Now, do keep in mind, Kara's will not redeploy, right? Kara's will not redeploy. It has to be on Kara to redeploy. Fine. Better than nothing, right? So I guess that's my point here is looking at this dual color, being able to run Aayla as a Jar-Kai target. She brings your red and she can be your Jar-Kai target. So now you have 2 potential Jar-Kais. We've seen many mono blue decks where you can have 2 potential Jar-Kai targets. You can get the redeploy out of it. That's very strong, very threatening. But now you have the potential of this no blanks thing. And I think it's very, 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 very strong being able to bring weapons from all over the place, right? So I'll go ahead and flash up, the weapons from last week. I mean, just some of the options out there. Obviously, there's, turret staff doesn't redeploy. And actually, to be fair, since this is the image from last week, we weren't focused on the redeploys as much, so there aren't as many. But there are a lot of really good redeploy weapons out there that you can use to your advantage and just maintain that value. And all you really have to do, with the exception of, Kara's Blaster, of course, and some of the other ones, all you really have to do is drop the 1 cost Jar-Kai on the other character. And then now that's your threat, right? So looking again at this pairing, like I had mentioned, I think the right way to go in this case is to run who you're going to be building up first. If you're going to run a 3-die, the person who you're building up first should be your non-elite, right? So in this case, I would think you'd go 2 Leia, elite Leia, non-elite Aayla, but load up Aayla as your target. I know that kind of stinks because she's got a really good die. So does Leia, right? So obviously there are other pairing options out there. You can go lesser cost and then maybe run the form plot, right? So you get basically something over there to help you overwrite, right? It lets you start with a training in play, right? Lightsaber training, and then you get that out. So that's an option just to help you with your ramp, really, because you would just override it. Because again, you want Jar-Kai out there ultimately. I mean, you could have the training out, but you want to have weapons on, right? So you get Jar-Kai out, you have your weapons. You guys get it. So yeah, I think this is a very interesting concept using Aayla, and to be clear, Ayla's the only one that this really works with, right? Because she brings red to the deck, but she's blue on the table. I mean, she's red on the table too, but she's blue on the table. And she's the only character you can do this with. So I think that, whether you pair with Leia or whether you pair, we'll go ahead and take Leia down at this point so I can throw others up, but whether you pair with Leia, whether you pair with others, either way, you're definitely going to be running Aayla. And then having a safety valve target once Aayla goes down, if the game doesn't go your way, it's super strong. Super, super strong. So I'm curious, let me know, what do you guys think? Have you guys tried this build with Aayla? I mean, dual threat, no blanks Jar-Kai. That's pretty cool. So have you tried it? What other partners have you tried it with? What partners do you think would be strong? Let me know in the comments. Very interested to hear what you all think about this. But utilizing Aayla seems pretty good for being able to provide 2 Jar-Kai targets, taking advantage of the value on the redeploys. And broken record at this point. You guys get it. That's all I have for today. Again, let me know what you think if you've tried it and so on. So thanks for tuning in for today's Destiny Friday. Again, remember, up in Toronto, if you're anywhere near there, even if you don't want to go out and roll some dice, go out and support. That's going to be big to get that community restarted. Thank you to Liquid Snake. Thank you to Matthew for everything you're doing up there. Go check them out. Support it, even if it's just virtually. Nothing else, folks. Go Commando.